Deep in the frozen forests of North America, where ancient pines creak under heavy snow, and darkness claims the land for months at a time, there lurks a creature so terrifying that even speaking its name was once forbidden. The Wendigo, a spirit of winter, famine, and insatiable hunger. In this Phantom Archive case, we look into a most disturbing entity from Native American folklore, a being that represents humanity's darkest impulses and the terrible price of survival in the harshest of winter conditions. We've uncovered authenticated accounts of Wendigo encounters that left entire communities in terror, including the shocking case of Swift Runner, whose transformation into what many believe to be a Wendigo led to one of the most disturbing criminal cases in Canadian history. The Wendigo emerges from the oral traditions of the Algonquian-speaking peoples, particularly the Ojibwe, Cree, and Assiniboine nations of the northern forests. These nations describe the Wendigo as a towering creature, often reaching 15 feet in height, with a gaunt skeletal frame wrapped in ash-gray skin pulled tight over protruding bones. Its most distinctive features are its burning eyes, set deep in hollow sockets, and huge jaws filled with jagged teeth. Some accounts describe the creature as having a heart of ice, or being made entirely of ice, while others speak of matted fur and the stench of decay. But the physical description alone fails to capture the true horror of the Wendigo, for this was not merely a predatory beast, but a manifestation of a terrifying psychological and spiritual affliction known as Wendigo psychosis, a condition where individuals would be possessed by an overwhelming desire to consume human flesh, even that of their own family members. Perhaps the most well-documented case of alleged Wendigo transformation occurred in 1878, near Fort Saskatchewan, in what is now Alberta, Canada. During the winter of 1878, Swift Runner, a Cree trapper, and his family, consisting of his wife, 6 children, and his mother, were camped roughly 25 miles from a local trading post. Swift Runner had always been considered a reliable and trustworthy man by both his community and the local Hudson's Bay Company traders. However, when Swift Runner emerged alone in the spring, his behavior was erratic and disturbing. Upon investigation, authorities discovered the horrifying truth. Swift Runner had killed and consumed his entire family over the winter months. The most chilling aspect of this case was that the winter, while harsh, was not severe enough to justify such desperate measures for survival. There was game available in the area, and the trading post was within reaching distance. During his trial, Swift Runner claimed he had been possessed by the spirit of a Wendigo, describing dreams of a towering figure with ice-cold breath who commanded him to kill and consume human flesh. He was executed for his crimes on December 20th, 1879. His case remains one of the most studied examples of Wendigo psychosis. Another remarkable account comes from 1907, when a Cree shaman named Jack Fiddler was arrested for the murder of a woman he claimed was turning into a Wendigo. Fiddler, along with his brother Joseph, were known as Wendigo hunters, claiming to have killed 14 Wendigos over their lifetimes. According to their testimony, they could identify the early stages of Wendigo transformation, including intense cravings for human flesh, dreams of giant creatures made of ice, and physical symptoms such as fever and freezing sensations in the extremities. The abilities attributed to Wendigos in these historical accounts are terrifying. Witnesses described creatures capable of mimicking human voices to lure prey, possessing superhuman strength and speed, and having the power to control blizzards and winter storms. Most disturbing was their reported ability to possess humans through dreams and corrupt them from within, turning them into cannibalistic monsters. In recent decades, the Wendigo has found new life in popular culture, though often in forms that barely resemble its original terrifying conception. From movies like The Ritual and TV shows like Supernatural to video games such as Until Dawn, the creature also appears in countless novels, including Stephen King's Pet Sematary and The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, though these versions often stray far from the original mythology. The modern interpretation of the Wendigo often focuses on its representation of insatiable greed and consumption. The Wendigo's endless hunger, growing larger with each meal yet never satisfied, serves as a powerful symbol for society's unsustainable consumption. Some indigenous scholars, like Basil Johnston, have written extensively about the Wendigo as a cautionary tale about the dangers of selfishness and greed. In his work The Manitus, Johnston describes the Wendigo as a warning against prioritizing individual desires over the needs of the community. Others incorporate the creature into modern narratives about addiction and mental illness. After examining centuries of documentation, from pre-colonial oral histories to modern psychological case studies, the Wendigo remains one of North America's most enigmatic and disturbing legends. While science may explain some historical cases as the results of severe isolation, psychosis, or extreme starvation, other aspects of the Wendigo phenomenon continue to defy explanation. How do we account for the consistency in physical descriptions from various native groups across thousands of miles and hundreds of years? What explains the similar patterns of psychological symptoms reported in Wendigo cases, even among individuals with no prior knowledge of the condition? And perhaps most disturbing, why do modern accounts of Wendigo sightings in the northern forests continue to emerge online? If you found yourself captivated by this exploration of one of North America's most chilling legends, consider subscribing and join us as we open more cases into chilling mysteries. But before you go, consider this. The Ojibwe people say that merely speaking of the Wendigo can draw its attention, and thinking too much about it can open the door to possession. And now that you know its story, perhaps you'll think twice when someone calls your name from the edge of the woods. Is the voice familiar? Or does it somehow sound wrong?